Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to Professor Madya Dr. Zaliha Abdullah as our lecturer for this course, Multimedia Design and Human-Computer Interaction. Okay, today we are from Group 4. We'll present to you our summarizing of our project. Okay, before we dive into the details, let me introduce you my great team's members, including me, Balkis binti Muhammad Azman, and Miza Faikah binti Suhaimi, Mirza Emeline binti Zamri, and Iman Adlina binti Shamsuddin. Together, we are collaborated to bring you a comprehensive representation of our final project. Each of us has brought a unique perspective to this project, combining our strength to complete this assignment that we hope will engage and enlighten you. Okay, for the introduction, in this era of globalization, technology is increasingly prevalent among us, especially in education. The use of technology in the classroom can sustain students' interest in learning. Take, take the subject of chemistry, for instance, there are numerous basic and complex concepts that student needs to grasp. One of the topics that most students struggle with is the reaction rates, that is Form 4 topics. One learning strategy that can be applied to solve this engagement problem is by using serious game learning, which has garnered significant interest in recent decades due to its potential to enhance engagement and enjoyment for users. Okay, next, this is our problem statement. The student engagement in the learning session of the topic of reaction rate is unsatisfactory. Okay, for the objective, we have two objectives for our project. Yep. Firstly, to enhance student motivation to actively participate during classroom activities. Secondly, to improve their understanding of the topic of chemical reaction rates in Form 4. Okay, for the target group, our target group audience comprise male and female, students in Form 4 and Form 5 from urban and rural areas who have chosen chemistry as an elective subject in school. And for the learning environment, uh, for this project within a computer laboratory, for the teacher use, we will employ desktop computer or laptop and interactive whiteboards as teaching aids. As for the students, they will utilize the computer provided in the school laboratory, and the expenses incurred are free. There is no budget allocated throughout the development of this application. In terms of scheduling, this application can be accessed at any time.
This is the importance or the main purpose of this developing of this application is first is to enhance students' interest in learning the topic of chemical reaction rates, which is might be some of the students are not interested in this topic due to the complex of the topic. So when we developing this application, it might attract student interest uh, to learn this topic. So their experience to learning this topic might be more effective. And for the second is to increase student engagement in the teaching and learning session, this is the main issue of our problem, which is student engagement in classroom, the student participation in activity in class. So when we come up with the interesting application, it might attract them to involve in the activity in classroom. So the effectiveness of the learning experience might improve and increase for the student. Next is theory and learning strategy that we use. For the theory is we choose behaviorism theories because behaviorism theory is more about student behaviorism, and the engagement, the issue that we want to solve is about engagement. So it is more to like student behavior. And then for behaviorism theory, it is the importance of external environment and the experience in shaping an individual behavior. So here we want to shape on students' behavior in terms of engagement in class, participation in class, and activity class. So this theory is focused on directly observable aspects such as response to stimuli and receive reinforcements. When students receive a positive reinforcement, the learning outcome or the learning experience of the student will improve. And then This story also provides encouragement and high motivation from teachers to students for a more active participation in class. So this is the solution we want to focus on, which is the issue of student engagement. And then there's also a research that state that the implementation of this uh, serious learning, which is the learning strategy that we use is in the classroom, really has a positive impact in terms of student behavior, engagement and participation, social cooperation and teamwork, and also student academic performance and works. And then the learning strategy we used is serious learning, which is it is an aid for teachers in promoting motivation and increasing student involvement in the classroom, which is this learning strategy is defined as a productive game that focuses on transformation rather than more enjoyment. There is two type of game, which is game-based learning and also serious game learning. Which is game-based learning is more like enjoyment, and this serious game learning is more like an improvement in terms of maybe knowledge, behaviorism. So here the point is to improve the student behaviorism, which is a transformation from lack of engagement in class to uh, good engagement in class, which is active participate in activity in class. There is also a research conducted by voters when post turned up and when there's height, which is they prove that serious games in education have the potential to enhance student motivation and engagement in learning session. So the flow of this uh, finding is from a theory which is behaviorism, and then the learning strategy is serious learning, and the uh, so problem is to solve the problem of student engagement in class.
Next is ID model. We choose a shore model. So what is a shore model? A shore model developed by Hennig, Molenda, Russell, and Smaldino in the early 1990s. This model is widely used instructional design framework in education for planning and implementing technology. It also enhanced learning experience in aiming to ensure effective integration of technology into teaching and learning. So, this is the description of a SHAR model. The first letter A is stand for Analyze Learner Characteristic. In this phase, it delves into understanding learners' prior knowledge and needs, aiding in talking instruction to meet specific audience requirements. The first S stand for state standards and objective. In this phase, after the analysis of the learner attributes, teacher must state standards and objective for the learning module. This statement consists of specification of what the learners will be able to do as a result of the instruction. The objective can be used in assessing the success of the students and also for grading process. The second S stand for select strategies, technology, media, and materials. So, in this phase, instructional methods, multimedia tools, and learning materials are chosen based on the identified objective. The goal is to match the selected resources to the needs of the learners and the content being taught. U stand for utilize technology, media, and materials. This step involves the actual implementation of the instructional plan. Teacher use the selected media and materials to deliver the instruction to the learners. R stand for require learner participation. In this phase, learner engagement is crucial for effective learning. This phase focuses on involving learner actively in the instructional process and encouraging participation and interaction. And lastly, E stand for evaluate and revise. In this phase, continuous assessment and evaluation are essential for determining the effectiveness of the instruction. Feedback from both learners and instructor are used to make necessary revision to improve the instructional design. So here is the flowchart. In this flowchart, it will shows how the game work.
I will continue with how we implement our learning strategy, which is serious game learning in our development. In serious game learning, there are four components involved, which is rule or gameplay, goal, interaction, and also challenges. So this is our storyboard, and in the beginning of the game, user, which is students or teacher, need to be signed in and choosing role. Then, to start off our implementation of serious game learning in our development, user, which is students, need to enter their name first and choose their avatar. Then, user will be displayed with the instruction of this game. These parts represent a rule or gameplay in serious game learning. Next, user will aim to complete all stages for explicit goal, which is winning the game by following the treasure map, including objective, notes, quiz, and summary, and implicit learning outcomes, which is knowledge, interaction, and also achieving learning objective. Then, there are interfaces that represent interaction in serious game learning, such as page, which teacher can monitor student questions and comments. Student also can interact with friends and teacher in notes, quizzes, answer scheme, and they can give feedback at the end of the game. Students also receive quiz summary to track their learning progress. Lastly, challenges in serious game learning represent in this game at the quiz part. Students need to answer quizzes with timed random question and competitive ranking to climb the leaderboard and win prizes. That's all from our group. Thank you for listening.